Well, welcome back everybody to the National Tour Finals here at the very scenic Woollerton Hall in Nottingham, and we are joining for the Recurve Women's Finals. We've got the quarterfinals coming up very, very shortly, due to get underway at 2 o'clock. And I'm joined in the commentary box by the winner of the gold medal in the men's competition, Patrick Houston, defended his title to take gold. Patrick, it was an interesting match, wasn't it? All of your matches actually to come through and take gold.
Yeah, this today's matches have gone as I would have liked them to at the end. Not necessarily with the path through them I would have envisaged. Definitely started a little bit rustily with Monty Orton. It was a good match. We shot a very good standard. Obviously, he's got 2 European titles, which I got to watch with himself earlier this in August. I managed to mess up one of the sets. I thought it's been a concept I've been toying with for a while. I thought I had lost the set and couldn't win it, so I walked off the line and didn't shoot my final arrow. I look forward to hearing how the commentary came out around that. I could hear the commentary of various people around me at that point.
Bemused, I think.
Yeah, so I think a 10, he'd 999 and I did 9 and an 8. I thought his was 1099, or I'm not entirely sure exactly what I thought, but my mental math was wrong, and I walked off, and a 10 would have sealed it.
So this is what we've got coming up, the bracket, the quarterfinal stage. Penny Healy, very promising youngster against Nicole Burdette coming through. It's going to be some interesting matches coming up in the quarterfinals. But yeah, so going back to yourself, Patrick. So that was your first match, and then things did kind of they improved from there. So what afterwards when you walked off, you just think, oh, why didn't I shoot that arrow?
Well, I thought it was a clever little gamesmanship move of I know my sight's centered, I know I'm grouping well around the middle, and I didn't necessarily need to shoot that arrow, and I thought I'll maybe make him think about it a little bit. But obviously when it turns out that was an error and I could have actually sealed the match at that point, well, let's just say I was very glad it worked out as it did.
Okay, but then you went on to win the gold.
Went on to win, so long as it ended up with the right result at the end.
Yeah. So focusing on the women now, we're going to start off with Penny Healy.
Nicole Burdette coming out.
So Penny Healy, 17, but ranked 34th in the world, has really come on to be part of that GB squad. And Nicole Burdette, 21 years old, but doesn't have quite the experience of the youngster.
Yeah, Penny has done some amazing stuff this year. She won individual gold at the World Indoor Cup Finals earlier this year. She got team gold the World Cup and a team silver in the World Cup as well. And just last weekend, 687, I believe, for the cadet world record at 60 meters. So I think we'll see some good archery here, but we have got a lot of choppy conditions. You can see the flags moving around. I think it looks maybe a little windier than this morning, but this morning there was a fair amount of wind. It would die off occasionally, and it definitely went a lot of different directions. You'd have, sometimes the flags would be totally calm, you'd point back in the middle and then you'd still drift off. And sometimes it would flip the opposite direction, so you'd have to aim what would have been upwind an arrow before.
Yeah, it does seem to be swirling around. There's a big fence that goes down the archer's left-hand side, and the wind seems to be swirling around that. You can see the fence there on the left of your screen.
These fairly tall trees cause there to be, I think, just quite a lot of turbulent air moving around. But we have a lot of wind indicators. Let's see how we open this quarterfinal.
So Penny Healy gets this first quarterfinal underway.
Nice quick shot. Penny does like to shoot fast. Not quite what she would have wanted to start with, but we'll see how things go. Two-point lead at this point. Good movement of the back elbow. 10 points.
Ooh. So it's been marked. Oh no, it's been marked as a 10. It's just a slight error in the caption there. It was well in time, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Nicole with a good group. Breeze picking up. X, very nice, Penny. 27.
Yeah.
Sighter shot for Nicole here. Looks good.
Well, that'll give us some confidence now going into the second set.
She knows where she needs to be pointing to get them into the middle. And as I said, with these wind conditions, you can very much have every single shot needing to be pointed in a different place. There's a lot of wind indicators. There's the feather flags you can see. There's a couple of wind socks. There's flags just behind the archers on the stands. Lots of information to look at. There's trees and further distance gives you indicators of what's maybe coming on its way. A lot of elements to be considered. Penny was the gold medalist at the National Turf Final last year.
Yeah. Can she do what you just did and defend the title?
She's definitely got the skills.
Talking of alternation, does Penny not flip that hat over? Is that what she does? She wears it one way round for practice and then the other way over for when she's competing.
Does she?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, I've not noticed that myself.
Competition.
Okay. I'll have to pay attention.
So Nicole Burdette gets the second set underway.
Bit of movement. That group on the left again. You'll see Penny do a good pre-aim just here. And then that back elbow moves all the way through to the end of the follow-through. X10. Very good.
So what was different, do you think?
I would call the most likely calls for those left arrows to be tension in the draw hand. Very much under pressure, you can over-try and recruit more muscle engagement and end up with just the balance of the shot changing. And the most likely thing for recurve archers under pressure is to go left due to tension in the draw arm. But then when you go either side, it suggests maybe not. So 6 will take the set for Penny. Yep. 26.
Yeah, you called that as a yes before it even hit the target.
I shoot with Penny 3, 4, 5 days a week. I know what her shot looks like. And
yeah.
She's a great little archer. Trains 300 plus hours a day. Been full-time basically the past year. Come on very well. She showed promise for a long time. Nice to see her starting to realize it. This will be a 4-0 lead for Penny Healy. Nicole Burdette needs to post a few more hours into the middle of the target.
Yeah, I mean it's a good achievement for Nicole Burdette to get to this stage, and she's up against someone who is the rising star of British archery.
Yeah, making the top 8 in this national tour is really quite an achievement. Awful lot of archers throughout the country compete for this. You have to perform consistently over a good number of events. I think we started Buxer Bounty a Lilleshall in April, end of April, start of May. Cole will shoot first. Nice. Penny's shot timing very quick normally, so she can choose her slot, avoid a gusty wind. 5, 4, nice.
So she's basically just waiting before she even starts the draw.
Your 20-second shot clock window, and if it's blowing a little gust, if you can shoot it comfortably in 10 seconds, may as well wait.
7.
Again, just waiting.
10 seconds. Nice consistent archery.
Of course, in the men's competition, we did actually see one of the archers getting timed out.
A good group, but
6 to win.
all high. I think Penny can probably take this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a comfortable victory for Penny Healy if she can score above a 6.
That's above a 6.
It is indeed above a 6. Probably the worst arrow that she's shot in this match, but it's enough to take the victory 6-0.
Yep, and she smiles a little sigh of relief. Well done to Nicole Burdette for making it to this top 8. Good achievement, and I look forward to seeing what comes of her in the future.
Yeah, just 21 years old, Nicole Burdette, and she's got plenty of time in the sport. So 6-0.
Losing's always emotional.
Yeah, she was very nervous coming into this competition. I had heard that yeah, she was struggling a little bit with the nerves, but Penny Healy, no issues there. Last year's winner is on track.
Into the final 4. The emotion and the pressure and the stress is what makes sport. What makes great champions great.
Exactly.
Being able to deal with these things.
Exactly. If you didn't care about it, then it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same emotions and fun.
Now the next quarterfinal match of the Recurve tournament.
Now we've got Sarah Battles versus Julia Hinckley, Tokyo Olympian and the Olympic reserve.
Yeah, Sarah Battles went to Tokyo, 17th place, so second round.
Yep. Not bad for her first showing at Olympics.
Yeah.
Myself and her made the top 8 in the mixed team as well, I think.
Lilleshall based Battles.
Yeah, she's been full-time since about 2018. Julia's been full-time the past 2.5 years. Shoots at my club at Beaubrook.
Target 2, Sarah Battles.
I think we're likely to see a fierce fight between these two. They can both be very, very seriously competitive. So I'm looking forward to some exciting archery.
So yeah, this one hard to call, you would think.
I would wager potentially on Sarah, but Julia is a very tough competitor at times, and it really could go either way. As realistically with this Recurve women's competition, I could put a guess on who the top 4 would be. What order they're going to finish up in, honestly could not say. Both of these archers shooting Fivix bows, and I believe Gilo rods as well. Bit of a twitch from Sarah, but
Not a good way to start.
Julia will want to capitalize on this. Fast shot. Okay. 3-point advantage for Julia. Sarah uses the technique known as thumbing, where your rear thumb gets lodged behind your sternocleidomastoid, this large muscle.
Not a good start for Battles.
Julia definitely taking advantage of this. Sarah needs to find something near the middle just to settle her nerves for the next set. Looks good. Yeah. Definitely what she needed there.
Yeah.
But Julia has won this set already. Nice. Mrs. Hinckley coming out on form.
Yeah, with the 28. But that's the great thing about this set system.
Scratch back to 0 next end. Really is quite fascinating how that works the results at times. Where you can, like, I know I got to the medal matches of the Paris World Cup. In my first match, I actually missed the entire target. I was wearing a hoodie because it was slightly wet and the tassel got caught by the string. I didn't make it to the target. I then won the match. Obviously, cumulative score would not have been the case.
No.
So Sarah needs to take that last hour, refocus herself, reassure herself. We've got Naomi Falkard, 5-time Olympian herself, coaching her there. Lots of experience, won this event many times herself, I think 3 times.
She retired after Tokyo?
She's retired many times.
Yeah.
She finally seems to have committed to retirement after Tokyo. And she is now our coach, which is a fascinating experience. And frankly, something I'm very much on board with. Set number 2 of this quarterfinal. Watch Sarah's hand, you'll see her lodge her thumb just there. Transfer the elbow round, nice delivery.
7.
Still settling in.
Really looks good. 8, okay. Only 1 point swing so far. They're not quite getting a handle on this match just yet. Fast shot from Julia in the yellow.
Yeah. Well, could that be the turning point?
6 to take the set. Yep.
Nice, 9. So 4-0, and if Sarah Battles is going to win this, she's going to have to win it.
Whenever we simulate things during, and we're back. Whenever we simulate things during practice, frankly, we randomly add in random delays because we're fully well aware that these things do happen in the tournament.
Well, looks like we're back, and we didn't miss any of the action, which is very fortunate that it came during the break between second and the third set.
So 4-0 to Julia Hinckley. First to 6 takes the match. So Sarah needs to get at least 1 point from this set, otherwise that will be game over for her for today.
And when it's just not going for you, what can you do? You don't want to change up too much.
You need to find something to focus on, some specific physical, technical, mental process to nail down to and commit to. Although in the pressure of it with your adrenaline through the roof, it can be difficult to recenter yourself. Julia looking solid. Ooh, okay. 1 point in favour of Sarah.
Yeah, if you can keep that going.
Group still low. Looks decent. Nice, 10 points.
There we go.
This is what Sarah wants at this point.
Right back in it. Pressure now on Hinckley.
Looked strong. Okay. Looking good for Sarah. And 8 will take the set. Solid.
7.
So a 10 will get a point to Julia. Fast. Oh, very nice. X10.
There we go. 25-25.
Julia came back when she needed to.
Yeah.
More experience on the international stage on the right-hand side of this field with Miss Bettles. Got a gold medal with the women's team at the European Games 2019. Got a bronze medal at the World Championships 2019 as well. And a silver in 2018. Slightly different women's team that year. Eleanor Piper in the mix there. Been struggling with a finger issue for the past 2 years, year and a half. One of the pulleys, I believe it is, one of the little tendons inside her finger, on her middle finger, on her draw hand. Very loose joints, Sarah does, so there's a lot of strain from archery on specific bits of your body.
Yeah.
You might be able to see the white tape on her middle finger of the draw. Yeah, you see it just there. Can go at the wrong times. Pressure tends to make things happen. But she's been working back through it, doing lots of rehabilitation, building back up through poundage. She's at about 40 pounds at the moment. Normally shoots about 43 in tournament. See that tape on the middle finger there. Looks good. Not quite. But as we said, there's a lot of wind, there's a lot of stuff happening on this field. Nice fast shot from Julia. 2 point advantage.
Yeah, Hinckley looking to see this one out now.
Sarah needs at least a 10 and a 9, I think, out of these two.
There you go. There's
one
your
of
10.
Nice shots from Julia. Okay, and we're tied. The games continue. Got a beautiful front end follow through on Sarah.
Ooh.
25. So 8 to win.
Yeah.
This might be all over. Looks good. To 7. 5-3.
Well, game on. 5-3. A great comeback there from Battles. I really thought with that last arrow from Hinckley that would be that, but I guess when the pressure goes on.
Yeah. It comes down to, the thing I love about archery is it is a test of, can you perform your skill, you practice and you train and you rehearse in the exact moment, me versus you, 1 arrow for 1 arrow, and there's nothing quite like it, I think. Got to control your heart rate, control your breathing, control your mind, control your body. Frankly, control the wind, control the bow. There's so much going on. Incredibly stimulating sport. And as we are here, edge of the seat stuff.
Well, momentum now. Switched over to Battles. If you can win this, we'll go to the shoot-off.
definitely more centered. They're still on average a little low. See the breeze blowing the hair around. Nice looking shot.
8.
All square. A tie will give Yulia the match here.
Yeah.
So Sarah needs to come out on top. Good group, but not where she needs the arrows. Fast shot from Yulia. Ooh, we could be looking at a shoot-off.
I think yeah.
I think anything respectable from Sarah, and we've got a shoot-off here. Nice shot. Okay. 23. 5 all.
Yeah, 5 all. Shoot off. And I think they don't do some statistics on if you've come back from a 1-5 deficit and you've taken it to the shoot off, then I think potentially you're more likely then to go on and win the shoot off.
Personally, I've no idea. I feel like that would be the case because by definition, you've got back in control of the match. You shot more arrows in the middle than the other person. So you would argue that would give you the better chance. But then does the other person get grumpy and aggressive and commits to the shot? From how this match has been going so far, I'd say Yulia's group's been a bit tighter and a little bit more central. But then that clinch set there where all she needed was a tie and the group opened up a bit. So who's going to be more focused, more determined and get this arrow in the middle to progress to the semi-final, this national turf final.
The heart pumping. The logo there.
I'd love it. In international stuff we have the heartbeat gets played out loud. Frankly, I think it should be played the entire way through the shoot-off. You should be at full draw with the speakers going.
Battles goes first.
1 arrow, 20 seconds, 70 meters away.
Look at that.
And an X-liner. Very nice.
Yeah,
Good job, Sarah.
Not just a 10, but
About the size of an orange to hit.
oh, wow.
Well, that's a great shoot-off, but Sarah Battles had taken that by a clear margin.
Yeah.
Good comeback, ladies. And
Yeah.
Sarah will progress
6-5.
to shoot against Penny in the next round. Oh, that was close. So Sarah has shot about 1.5 inches off the very centre of that target. That's a liner X. Very solid shot. With going first, that leaves Yulia, you're talking the size of a Satsuma.
Yeah. And Yulia, well, she had her chances to win that.
She just couldn't quite capitalise when it was offered.
Couldn't close it out. And really did offer Sarah Battles the chance to come back, and Battles
And
took
Sarah
it.
took it.
Yeah.
Good shooting from a rather seasoned competitor nowadays.
Well, I think she'll be. I think she'll count herself slightly fortunate to have won that, but you know, a win is a win.
To stick an X in on a shoot-off, can't really ask much better than that.
Exactly.
It's like if you're at 5-1 and you shoot or 5-5 and or 5-3 and you shoot a 30, well, you've won that match.
Yeah.
Sticking in an X to win the shoot-off, yeah, that's pretty much almost as good as you can do. And doing that first off puts your opponent under a lot of pressure.
So that's the top half of the draw, and we're going to see Penny Healy against Sarah Battles in the first of the semi-finals. Now it's time to look at the bottom half of the draw and who is going to meet in the second of the semi-finals. We've got Jess Sagu And she is up against Małgorzata Sobieraj of Poland. And Louisa Piper is up against Bryony Pitman.
Małgorzata shooting 27 years. Probably the longest shooting archer on this field. 650 is her personal best. I know Jaspreet shot a 665 earlier this year, 668 being her personal best. Jess has shot on the international scene quite a lot this year. Finished 8th indoors and outdoors at the European Championships. Silver and a gold medal in women's team competition in World Cup tournament this year. Had an interesting last couple of months. She her knee locked out, fell over on herself, smashed her arm and her thumb, and then managed to shoot a 665, having not touched a bow in 2 weeks. So, some good skill. Two very different styles of shooting here. Jaspreet much more the US holding, alignment, steady aiming, and Małgorzata much more recurve, flowing, movement style shot.
So there we go with the third of these quarterfinals. Jessica Sagu, 26 years old, up against the 39-year-old Sobieraj of Poland. And Jessica, part of that GB squad fairly recently, went to that World Cup in Antalya.
Yeah, took a gold alongside Bryony and Penny. Jess shooting first. Nice opener.
Great way to start.
And a 3-point swing. Very solid. Not quite what Małgorzata would be wanting here. .27. We'll take the first set. Not a bad group, but just a foot high left. Probably the most distinctive difference here is the stabilization setup. So with Małgorzata we see a very standard recurve setup, 3-4 inch extender, 10-inch sides, a couple of weights and a doinker. And then with Jess here we have the V-bar bolt mounted below her grip but on the inside of the bow, 15-inch side rods, and then a long rod out the front. So very different aiming pattern. Małgorzata's will be a much smaller but much faster pattern, and Jess's will be much slower, much more steady. Got the mass centered much closer to Jess. It'll be more stable. She'll be much more in control of the position of the aiming point, and Małgorzata will be much more going for the direction and movement and flow of the bow. Two, well, almost polar opposites in terms of
style,
equipment
and
style.
Yeah.
The style we see Jaspreet rocking has become fairly popular in the past decade, but very importantly to note, only works if you have 5 to 6 ounces at least per rod. If you have a light mass stabilization, this setup does not work. Can the seasoned competitor find the middle?
Yes.
Very good. Looks good. Nice. And within about half an inch of each other, those two arrows.
7.
And a wide arrow from Jez. Will take the set. 8, 25. So a 9 will share the points. Yes, it's an archer who likes holding.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, 2
Interesting.
stray arrows at the end of that set.
Arguably a third in that first set in a very similar position. Arguably that 8 is within that blue left group.
Yeah. So what's going on there to bring them no left?
Once again, as I said with Nicole, it's most likely tension in the draw hand. You saw her release flapping out a little bit. Some of her nicer ones, the releases come back cleanly. Now, Jess isn't always the one for the most tidy back-end follow-through, but she can. As you saw with the 10th, the hand came round quite sharply around. There's the potential for some... Jess is shooting 45 pounds in a 30-inch draw length. The wind isn't pushing them left 6. And there wouldn't be the wind going left 6, it's going right if anything. Probably a lack of commitment, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of over-trying. As I said, when you put effort into trying to make a result happen, you over-recruit different muscle patterns and don't quite get the movements and balance inside the shot that you would be intending to create.
So having won the first set comfortably, Jess has suddenly found herself in a position where she needs to refocus
And find that shot that she had for half of this match.
There we go.
10s will go a long way in recurve archery. Get a couple of them in and you're probably safe. Wobbling in that front elbow. And a 10.
Well,
10 to a 10. Fantastic.
again. Heading to the left.
Easy advantage here. Potentially. Wind is picking up. 20 points.
Yeah.
Nice. Jess needs to put, well, if it's not a 10, no pressure. Looks good. Oh, even further. I said it looked good on the front end. The back end was a little bit off. And that is won that set.
Yeah. Well,
before
pressure
that
was
arrow
off.
was shot.
Yeah. The pressure was off for that
Okay.
last arrow. And something has definitely happened with Jess Sagu's.
She needs to commit to the movement rather than trying to aim. Jess is definitely, as with myself at times, you get stuck aiming rather than making the shot happen. I had my father behind me today, and I had him saying, as I was sort of 2/3 of the way through the draw, I had him say all the way. And it was that I want to keep that back elbow going, keep the movement, carrying round through into the front end, and make the shot happen rather than just holding. Because if you hold for a long time, eventually the clicker will go off and you'll let go. But you need to make the shot fully happen so that you get that dynamic and you get the bow to behave as you want it to behave. And so far we see Jess with about a 50% hit rate. Margotata definitely taking this match by the horns. Using the triple trouble wooden grip on her white GMX, made by Chef Van Berg. Hoyt X-Tour ILF limbs. Oh, sorry, I do apologise. It's not a GMX, it is a Hoyt Epic. And we have a Formula XI with Velos. Miss Sagu. Can Jess fight her way back into this match? 9.8, solid. Long hold. 8.
It's that group that's over there on the left.
Those left arrows are going to cost her this match if she cannot keep it together.
Well, the door is open now for
17-15.
Sobieraj. It's a 2-point lead going in to potentially the last arrow. Snatched it.
Well, a hit will take the match. Jess is not going to be pleased with that. But nice consistent archery.
Yeah. And
Sobieraj.
Sobieraj, Margotata Sobieraj is through 6-2, and the wheels definitely seem to have fallen off for Jess Sagu there.
I was shooting with her last week, and it looked really good. But the past week I've been chatting to her, and she wasn't pleased with how she was performing. And I know she hasn't. She stopped practicing a couple of days because she was like, "Oh, it's not going well. I won't practice." Well, unfortunately, that seems to have followed her out onto the field. Long way up from Cambridgeshire to shoot a match.
It's not that far from Cambridge, really. About an hour and a half up the road to Nottingham. But yeah, not so far to drive home, but disappointment for Jess Sagu.
Not as far east, are we? Telford's a little further.
Telford is perhaps a little further, yeah.
So I know she'll be taking some time off after this. It's the end of the season for most competitors of this field. I know there's maybe another tournament some may be going to try and get some scores next weekend, but that's the end of all the major tournaments, apart from myself, Bryony, Ella, and actually Louisa Piper and Bryony, 2 archers about to come up onto the stage, both of which joining me at the World Field Championships in about 2 weeks' time.
Is there not the finals in Mexico as well?
Well, Bryony then carries on off to the World Cup finals after the World Field Championships. So we shoot the World Field Champs in Yankton in South Dakota, the World Archery Centre there, the NFAA Centre. The World Field people then leave, but Bryony and Ella both having won stages of the World Cup, Ella having won 3, they stay on for a few days and then fly down to Mexico to compete for the World Cup final. Pretty fantastic achievement, making it into that. And well, I think Bryony's topped out at ranked number 2 in the world this year. Bryony's been around a long time. First made the team with me back in 2012. She made the target and field team back in 2012. So this is 10 years as an international archer, and she's had some very good performances over time. Won a number of medals individually, teams, target and field, indoors as well. Louisa Piper, European field champion herself, a European target champion in the team earlier this year.
Bryony Pitman, yeah.
Silver medal at the World Games earlier this year, gold individual, gold team in Antalya, silver mixed team in Antalya, and a silver women's team in Colombia. Probably the favourite in this match.
So Bryony Pitman, yeah, she's 25. She was reserved for Rio.
Yep.
Went to Tokyo, got 9th in Tokyo at the Olympic Games.
best individual performance out of the GB archers in Tokyo.
And Louisa Piper, just 19, but has experience in this sport.
Louisa is not new at all. She's been on the GB Academy since she was 10, 11, something like that. Frankly, part of the senior national squad since about 2017. It's really nice to see her coming into her form this year. Gone off to University of Birmingham, sports scholar. Nice, solid shot from Bryony.
So Pitman gets things underway. Louisa Piper.
Louisa, an archer who can definitely hold for a long while. 8, maybe a 7.
Yeah, 7. So they're finding their way to the centre now.
Nice shot from Bryony. Probably aimed that there, I'd expect, given how the shot looked. Bryony's a nice, smooth, one-motion shot kind of girl. Louisa can definitely spend more time under the clicker.
So slender lead in this first set. It's going to come down to this last or third arrow.
And the door open for Louisa to take this set. A 9, anything the yellow will take the points. Wind moving those feather flags. Looks good.
Ooh.
And a tie. 23 apiece.
Well, there we go. Couldn't get any closer.
Group all a little low for both of these athletes. Interesting. The practice field's not totally flat. I'm not exactly surprised. I made the very conscious choice towards the end of my short practice session before I started to move to the closest target to the finals field, because the shooting line seemed a little more raised. So you were definitely closer to the same elevation between the shooting line and the target. On average, over all of these matches so far this afternoon, they've all been low on the targets. Little margins can go a long way. Bryony Pitman with her father, Gary Kinghorn, behind her. A man who has achieved representing Great Britain field archery with barebow, compound and recurve. One of the few people on the planet to have done that. White and Win and Win represented in this field. As I said, still low, but very central for that low group. Very solid at full draw.
Much longer hold. Down into the 5 seconds.
Groups are all still low, ladies. Clicks on the site. Bit of shaking from Bryony. High 8.
Was that down to an adjustment in the sight, do you think, or was it?
My most likely prediction for straight high arrows under pressure is the head coming down slightly towards the shoulder girdle. See that quite often happen to people with any form of head posture variation. Nice fast shot from Bryony. Yeah, 10 points. 27. So 9 will share the set. 10 will take the points for Louisa.
Pressure on.
Very steady. Confident. 8.
8.
And Bryony takes the set.
Yeah, by the narrowest of margins, 27-26.
Well, archery is a game of fine margins. Sometimes it comes down to literally millimeters.
3-1.
I think Bryony will be taking Gary with her to Mexico. Don't know if he's coming out to the World Fields as well, but I believe he's coming along as her support for the World Cup finals. We have Connor Hall beside Louisa, boyfriend of Louisa's sister Eleanor, who's made these finals herself before. International athlete in her own right. She finished high up the national tour rankings herself this year. Didn't quite make the final. Match in Brownie's favour.
This is by far the closest match that we've seen so far.
Well, we've got two top form archers. Louisa shot 660 something, it might have been 665 at Barnsley earlier this season. Brownie finished university and has excelled since then, really. Nice. Brownie Pitman shooting an R-core grip. Interestingly using nice, exactly the same shape as I do. The U grip available from R-core. Probably a 9.
Yeah.
Maybe an 8.
I think that, yeah, 8+, it's 8 stars been scored, but I think it's the 9.
Right, he's going to start trying here. Following a 10. Ooh. Yep.
Yeah.
I think she'll be lucky with that, given how that shot went. I think she'll take an 8.
Yeah.
Probably a 9.
Ooh, yeah.
So
I think that is definitely a 9. I think the other one, the first one from Piper.
Ooh, and a twitch from Brownie.
Oh. A 9.
And that is where volume and repetition comes into its own. Brownie's a big volume trainer, big volume shooter, and while she, if you look back on that shot, was not in control of it quite enough, she made the yellow, and that's through sheer rote repetition.
So we're checking. We're looking at Louisa Piper's.
And Brownie, that 9 secured her the victory in that set. Doesn't need to look pretty so long as it finds the middle.
Oh, that's been marked as 999 for Piper, so the score's 27 apiece. And it is a shared set, so 4-2 the score.
The match carries on. Definitely the highest standard match we've had so far. Good to see. Athletes competing at their best.
Well, we've had 2 tied sets, haven't we? Tied in the first, tied in the third.
And given what I know of the conditions out there, these are solid scores to be putting in. Now the determination test of metal. .8. Very nice. Nice fast shot. Drift out to the right. The drift is in general to the right on this field. Could have thought it looks calm, I'll point at the middle. Could be a reasonable assumption. Nice delivery.
Lovely shot.
Louisa fighting back just when she needs it. Brownie needs to put her under pressure.
She needs it.
Realistically, how this match going needs to be a 10. Good group, but
Well, it's Piper's to win this set now.
And 9 will take the points. 4 all. Tie it up. I think she can do it.
No.
Ooh, 27. So a 10 for 5-3. Can the archer from Brighton take this? Looks good.
Yes. 5-3 it is.
And the fight continues.
27-27.
Nice group from Bryony, as you can see from those first 2 hours. Then she made the adjustment, committed well to her shot, executed the process, and got the desired outcome. Kind of professionalism you'd expect from world number 4. Last regulation set coming up. First to 6 wins, but if we get 5 all, we will have a single hour shoot off.
Yeah.
As we've already had so far today. Quite a number, really. It's nice to see matches go to the full length. Yes, I know some archers might want to win more decisively, but it shows archers are well matched. It gives the audience lots to engage with, and frankly, more engaging.
It's definitely more exciting to watch when they're evenly matched like this, and to have 3 of these 4 sets be tied is really adding to the drama.
Both athletes shooting well. Bryony maybe got the slightly tighter group from what I can see on our screen here, but Louise is slightly more central. So
yeah, Bryony's all off to the right, isn't she?
Yeah. Nice group, just drifted right, as you can see. Well, realistically, those feather flags are pointing every direction. Helpful. How will Miss Piper open?
So here we go, final set.
Banner's picking up on the left of the screen. Long hold. 10 points. Nice. Good job.
Right on the buzzer. Quick shot.
Right 9.
Again, it's in that right grouping, isn't it?
Yep. Steady hold. 5 seconds. 10. This is looking good for Louisa.
Looking good for a 5 all. Sudden death. A 9 or a 10 is required.
And an 8.
8.
So an 8 will give Louisa a shoot off.
Yeah, only needs an 8 now.
Commit, get it over the net. Nice, smooth shot. Looks good. Yep.
And that
29.
is that. Yeah.
Good professional response.
Yes.
That's what you need at 5-3. You cannot be giving your opponent much room. Bryony recenter herself.
Right.
And another shoot off to see who makes the semi-final.
Yeah.
Games continue.
Yeah, they do indeed. Difficult to call this one, really, isn't it?
Honestly, at this point, as we said about earlier, given how Louisa's just shot with 2 10s and a 9, the balance of probabilities would weigh on herself.
Yeah.
Bryony won her gold at the Antalya World Cup in a shoot-off. I think she shot a 8-9 liner. I think it was called just out, but the Dutch girl had shot like a 8.5. Louisa's group still consistently more centered. Bryony's group definitely a little denser, but she needs to point left to get that arrow in the center.
Bryony goes first. Is it Bryony going first?
Honestly, I couldn't say.
Did she start shooting first?
Bryony will shoot first.
Yes. Yeah.
Win and win versus Hoyt. True ball versus Axel. Win Button versus Whiffler. Biter Knox versus Easton G Knox. Spin Wings versus Ellie Vanes. Bryony Pitman versus Louisa Piper.
Here we go.
Looks decent. Good attempt, Bryony. 9.8. Solid, but there is space.
There's
there.
space, yeah. It's enough to put the pressure on, though. Again,
3, 2.
There we go.
And a well-deserved win from
Yeah.
Louisa Piper.
Yeah.
10 under the pressure, 17 seconds into that 20-second time.
Yeah.
That was a damn good match.
Yeah, good win for Louisa Piper over the world ranked number 2, Bryony Pitman.
I don't think Brian will be too disappointed with that. Yeah, she may have lost the match, and that might be her competition over. But she shot well. It was a high-scoring match, and she shot a good hour for that shoot-off. But was bested by an archer who just had one a little closer.
And just unfortunate that they met in the quarterfinals, really.
Yep. Yeah, you could see that being the gold medal match for how that standard was.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes on now. Louisa could take it through.
So we're going to have a 5-minute break while we reset the stream. So don't go anywhere. We're having a scheduled break. We're going to be back for the semi-final matches in 5 minutes' time. So go make yourself a cup of tea, and we'll see you very shortly.
Into our semi-finals.
Yeah, welcome back after that short break, and we are through to the semi-finals. We've got Penny Healy against Sarah Bettles, and Margosata Sobieraj against Louisa Piper.
We've got some top quality matches ahead of us here. Still everything to play for. Sarah found her form the back end of that match against Julia. Took the match with a X in the shoot-off. Penny winning decisively against Nicole.
Yeah, we had 2 shoot-offs, didn't we, in the quarters, and then 2 kind of more one-way matches. So first of the semi-finals of the Recurve competition, at the National Tour Finals in Nottingham.
2 very different styles in these ladies. 2 very different people.
So Penny Healy and Sarah Bettles, both part of the GB squad.
Both living pretty much in Telford. Training pretty much full-time up at Lilleshaw National Sports Centre, where multiple stages of this tour were held this year. Archery GB is based there.
I did my time at Lilleshall. We used to go for fitness camps up there. I just remember running the beep test. It was just not a pleasant experience in my memory.
I don't know if that's Lilleshall's fault or the beep test's fault. I think I might blame the beep test.
Yeah, I think probably the beep test.
So we've got a very fast archer in Penny Healy if she commits to her shot. Much more slow, deliberate, mechanical approach from Sarah. Penny does a pre-aim just in front of her face. You'll see her settle on the target. So she sets the shoulder, pre-aim, and then a long transfer into a follow-through from the back end at that kind of timing. And that's the result she'll get from it.
Yeah, well, that was the form that she showed in that first match.
Sarah sets up a very solid structure.
Ooh.
Big twitch. That could have been that finger issue said about. Brilliant. Good job,
Yeah,
Sarah.
good recovery there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But can she stay focused for her next arrow? Penny shoots. X10. Looks like we might be in for a good match. Looks nice. Dropped a little low. Penny waiting out the wind. It looks like the wind picked up for her. Three, 2, 28.
Wow.
So a 10 might share the points, but anything lower than that. Strong headwind coming according to those flags.
You say might because of the 9.
Whoa, very
the
good, Sarah.
So now it's down
think
to
that's
the magnifying glass.
Hard to say with the shadow and the sunlight, but that is a very close set. Good opening from these ladies, both of which very experienced in their own right. Penny's first year on the senior international scene this year. Broke in impressively well with a 4th place finish at the World Cup. Quite experienced at youth level. The judge has the magnifying glass out. Sometimes they'll give an indication up or down. Down. 9. 2 points to Penny.
So 2-0. Well, Sarah starting a lot better in this match than she did against Yulia Hinckley. Really had to come from behind in the quarterfinals.
But she won through with an X. Got herself focused in by the end of it. And that arrow hole almost looks like a 10 from this angle, but
it does. Yeah. Well, we can't. Yeah, we can't.
Doesn't matter once the arrow is taken out.
So the trailing fencer, Sarah Battles, will shoot first. Fencing, arching, yeah. Shooting.
Longer hold from Sarah, bit of body sway, but a 9. Good shot. Higher standard. See the wind lifting up the barrier. Good commitment of movement. Dropped a little low. Similar place to Sarah's, interestingly. I was aiming in that kind of region to try and drift my arrows into the middle at times with a little bit of the left to right and a touch of a tailwind. Not what Sarah wanted there, though. She looks a little confused, shrugging it off.
So sometimes you aim for an area in hoping that the wind will bring it into the middle, and then suddenly the wind doesn't, and it just goes exactly where you aimed it.
And exuberant to follow through from Miss Healy, but highly skilled athlete puts it in the middle. Nice. Good as you could do out of that.
Yeah.
25. So an 8 will take the set for Penny, though. She can probably do. But that wind looks interesting.
There we go.
Nice.
Good way to finish with a 10 and 28.
Solid competitive archery on show
Yeah.
here.
Now leads the 4 best points to nothing.
Well, Penny won her first one 6-0. She could potentially win this one 6-0.
Yeah, 4-0 so far. Advantage definitely to the 17-year-old. You would suggest that given the seasons they've had. Sarah has struggled, as I've said, with some fairly serious injury this year. Had to take time off shooting, and she knows she shoots her best when she is shooting 1,200, 1,500 hours a week. That's where her best performances come from, and I think she's clipped into that a couple of times, but then the injury flares up again, and variations through the month just causes things not quite go the way she'd intended to. But she's had a good solid basic training. I know she's not had to pull back from anything for maybe 3-4 months now. That's why she's made into the semi and was able to pull back against Julia. So we see a head crosswind coming from the left-hand corner. So I'd be aiming high left 8. Low right 8. Penny, we're trying to wait it out, down to 10 seconds. Aggressive strategy, but she knows she can shoot an arrow in that time. Nice, smooth shooting. 8-liner, okay. No change. I'm calling that in.
Yeah, it's been marked 7, but I think that's an 8, so level pegging.
Nice delivery from Sarah.
Ooh.
Yes, well, your arrows are low. I agree.
Really nice.
See everything moving in the background. Shows the conditions these ladies are working with.
And a 6 to win.
Penny could make the final without dropping a set.
And that's with the 7 being marked as a 7. Oh!
And
Whoa.
games continue. 4.
Wow.
2?
A 2.
Oh, sorry, that's a shadow, not an arrow.
It's a 2. It was
Okay.
it was so high that it was out of the.
It did sound like the
actual-
klaxon went off pretty much as she shot, so I
Yeah.
think she might have rushed it. As I said, it's an aggressive tactic trying to wait out the wind, because
but-
particularly say the wind continues, then you have to come up to full draw and you have to commit to shooting your shot inside 10 seconds, whereas potentially if you'd started at 20, you might have waited in the shot for the wind to drop. Doesn't necessarily always pay off. You wouldn't see many archers waiting for 10 seconds in a 20-second shot timing.
Yeah. Yeah, target 1, 10, 7, 2 called.
Well, there goes the clean short score sheet for Penny. Sarah takes 2 points.
Well, that was, yeah, let's have a replay of the
We'll watch
last.
the
Oh no, we're not going to see the last one because we're back on and we're ready to go.
Sarah Battles enjoys a lot of horse riding in her spare time. I know she was down at the stables just yesterday. Very important when you're a full-time athlete to have interests outside of the sport. Good back elbow movement, nice. 9.8. Group still low, Sarah. Penny stay aggressive in her shooting. See a little bit of nerves in that follow through, a little bit of jittery movement. Slightly longer hold. Perfectly normal to start trying at this point. Nice. Nice solid shooting from Miss Petals. Good shot. Yeah, next 10.
Yeah.
So a 10 needed to really put Penny under pressure. Penny could still take that.
Yeah, can still win, even with a 10 from Sarah.
Nice delivery. Oh, nice shot, but an 8 to tie, 9 to win the match. That win picking up.
Yeah,
strong
9 to
for
win.
Penny.
Remember what happened with the third arrow in the last set.
Gold might not be a crazy ask, but when it's blowing a Healy, and you've got 5, 4, 3,
and
Penny Healy progresses to the gold medal
with a
match.
9 win. So 6-2 in the end. Penny Healy, no problems on the second attempt there to see that one out.
Penny coached by Nikki Hunt, former world #1 with the compound, as well as Olympic squad member with Recurve as well, now part of the Archery GB Olympic coaching team.
So is Penny Healy part of that development pathway, and how important is
Penny's
that?
on the Olympic squad. Penny's she's, if there was an Olympics now, Penny would be going. Yeah, I've no doubt in that she'll be going to Paris.
And does that really kind of confirm the validity of the pathway to UK sport when you kind of report back, your performance director reports back to UK sport to say the pathway is working?
Well, we've got some fantastic skill coming through. I know Brandy's been here a long time. Penny's a fairly new addition to things. Mr. Woodgate's coming through the academy team as well. He was on the Tokyo team with myself and Tom Hall last year. But yeah, the way that things have gone the past year, particularly on the women's side, has been very encouraging. We've had obviously Bryony making the World Cup final with her individual gold, Penny making the top 4 at the Paris World Cup, and then 2 separate women's team gold medal and a silver medal at World Cup competition. And that gold medal or that silver medal in Medellin actually contributes towards qualification for the next Olympic Games. The Paris Olympic qualification process has changed slightly, and part of it is based on world ranking. Effectively, directly before, I don't know, maybe a month, 6 weeks before the Olympics, the 2 highest world ranked teams who haven't qualified spots at other events, they then get given their tickets to the Olympic Games. So Penny has started that process already, and the way that she's going, I expect to see some very good things from her in the future. I take that world record she took last weekend. She had one opportunity where she went and shot the 60-meter round, which is the cadet distance, and she went out and shot it 1 point above the former world record at that one event where she had one shot to do it. Looks like she's following this so far today.
So time for the second of the semi-finals. Małgorzata Sobieraj of Poland up against Louisa Piper, Great Britain. Lives in Woking. The 19-year-old Brit, Piper, came through that super tight match against Bryony Pitman.
From the trend of the 2 matches we'd seen earlier, I would say Louisa would be the favourite for this match. But Małgorzata had a good density of 10s in that match. So if she can keep things together, and then we've seen the wind picking up a lot, and with Louisa's habit of holding, it could pay off, or it could be to her detriment. We'll see how it goes. See the wind flapping t-shirts. Lots of movement. It's wind.
Yeah, a little bit of a
Under 6.
grimace there as Sobieraj gets things underway.
9 full seconds at full draw. 1 scoring ring closer to the middle.
Just needs to put one in the middle between those two.
Nice, X10. Solid lead for Louisa, 4 points. Ten. Good comeback, but a 7. Anything inside the red will take the first set. Help Louisa towards meeting Penny in the gold medal. Nice delivery.
Yeah. 25-23.
So looks like Lisa Piper will take that first set with 25 points, 10-7. To Josh's 23 with 10-7-6.
The interesting thing about this outdoor sport is the variety of conditions. Well, it can change 1 hour to the next, frankly. It can change in the middle of a shot. You can be reading the wind, waiting for your opponent to shoot, decide, okay, I'm going to point it high left, 9-8 line, and then come up to full draw, and then all the wind socks flick and change to the opposite direction. It's a fascinating game. Arrows might travel at the guts of 150 miles an hour, but they're really rather big and definitely get affected by the wind.
Yeah.
A light breeze that, you know, you would hardly even comment on could quite easily drift an arrow 6 inches. And if it's blustery, like if there's a reasonable breeze, like we're seeing here, you're talking 1.5 feet. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these athletes, when that wind picks up, I don't know if they necessarily are, but would need to be pointing them 7, even the 6 or the 5, to drift them into the middle at the peak of what we're seeing from these flags.
And it's judging that. It's judging when to do that.
When to do it, where to put it. Is that the truth of what's happening in front of you from what you're seeing from the wind indicators? Nice shot. 7. Louisa will be looking to capitalise on that. Long hold. The 6, interestingly, in basically the same place. Within an inch. Nagatada trying to put Louisa under pressure with all that long holding. If you can get a shot off quickly, that puts her under physical and mental pressure.
It cuts down the recovery time, doesn't it?
9 seconds of full draw there. And the centre of the target. All tied up, 16 apiece. 1 hour shoot off for this set. Ooh, that's a lot of shaking.
Long hold. Oh, yeah.
4. There's a large physical component to this skill. These women are probably holding 40-ish pounds, thereabouts. 10.
Yeah, nice finish. I didn't need a 10, but shot it anyway.
Bit of the form that we saw against Bryony coming out.
Yeah. So yeah, 4-0 to Louisa Piper.
So as I was saying, you're holding 40-odd pounds, guts of 20 kilograms at full draw, and then if you hold a ballpoint pen at arm's length, the top of the ballpoint pen is the size of the 10 ring at 70 meters. It's about the size of a CD. And when the wind starts buffeting you around, holding it still can be difficult. Never mind holding it still and committing to the pressures and the movements and the process that you're trying to do at full draw, and then executing that accurately. Yeah, it's not easy. But Louisa seems to be managing this. See that moment of execution, the backhand snaps back, the front hand blasts that bow towards the target, maintaining how the Americans would call the barrel of the gun, directed strongly towards the, as I refer to with my clients, the three-dimensional funnel, which is the 10. As you can see, the wind
Yeah.
blowing quite strongly here. Movement is your friend at this point. Commit to your point, don't try to be really precise, and shoot a nice shot. And in gusty wind, an alternating shot clock can be biased, but more luck than anything. Looks good. 9.
Yeah, is good.
And of course we've got the varying light conditions going on as well here.
Yeah, sun going in and out behind the clouds.
And with the sun being quite so sharp, that can make a significant variation to your string picture as you line up to make that rear sight. Three. Okay. This is looking good for Louisa. A 2-point lead. Margasata needing a 10 here. Put Louisa under some pressure.
Yeah, this could be it.
Looks decent. Not quite.
7.
Yeah, 7 to win the match. And gets it away
And an 8.
and gets the 8.
Well, it looks like
6-0.
Looks like we will have 2/3 of the gold medal winning team from the European Youth Championships competing against each other for gold medal here at Nottingham.
Yeah, we're going to have Penny Healy against Louisa Piper in the gold medal match.
And now Margasata is going to experience what is honestly, I think, one of the toughest things frankly, in the whole of competitive archery. In a finals field like this, if you are the second semi-final and you lose, you walk off the finals field, turn around, and walk back on to compete for a bronze medal.
Yeah, tough.
It is seriously mentally difficult to do that, and to do it well. You have to take that anger, that upset, that rage, and turn it into focus, because if you let the disappointment make you demotivated, unconfident, uncommitted, well, you're just going to come fourth, and nobody wants to come fourth. It's not a nice place to be. So I wish her all the best with that.
Yeah, bronze medal match is going to happen as soon as we can.
So we'll have Sarah Bettles, Margasata Sobieraj competing for that bottom rung on the podium of the 2022 National Tour Final. Back at Wallerton Hall in Nottingham. Arguably the home of archery, at least romantically. Sherwood Forest. Although arguably in reality the home of archery is Lilleshall National Sports Centre. But it just doesn't have that quite same romantic ring to it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I tell people, oh, I'm going to go work on some archery and do some archery commentary. I'm going to Nottingham. Oh, of course you're going to Nottingham. Yeah, Nottingham. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, we had the European Championships here in 2016. I qualified for my first Olympic Games then. Got an individual bronze in the quota tournament. Got a individual bronze at the Europeans itself. Got a team silver with Larry Godfrey and Kieran Slater. Our women team got fourth of Naomi Falkard, Amy Oliver and Bryony Pitman. I think our compound women also got fourth with Naomi Jones, Andrea Gales. Oh, this is testing my memory. Disappointing. I do apologise to the third member of that team. You've slipped my mind at this moment. But here we have Sarah Battles coming out onto the field.
Yeah, let's concentrate on the here and now. This is the bronze medal match. And it is Battles versus Sobieraj.
As I said to him in our last match, you still here then? So first is 6 points. 3 arrows a set, alternating shot clock with a 122 centimeter target 70 meters away. 10 ring, 12.2 centimeters, guts of a CD. Test of skill.
So Battles is up first. This for the bronze medal.
Nice sharp shot from Sarah. 7 or 6, okay. Strong headwind, probably pushing those arrows low. 1 point lead. Looks good, Sarah. 9.
9. 8.
Interestingly, I think both of these archers are using their thumbs to reference on that muscle on the left-hand side or right-hand side of the neck.
Mm-hmm.
24, I think from that rear view, you'll see it on Margaret's Atto as well. Tie.
Yeah, wow.
1 all.
24 apiece.
Well, wait for verification in the judges, but it looks like that was 987. Exactly. 888. The American tied 24.2.
Interestingly, we have a bronze medal match of 2 rather tall ladies and a gold medal match of 2 rather smaller ladies. Just how the cookie crumbles today. Overall, not a sport which discriminates hugely on body type or size. Much more to do with skill and fortitude. Frankly, commitment to training process.
There's
How
no
much you're willing to
particular
work.
body shape. Long arms, an advantage.
So there is an advantage to being bigger, and there's an advantage to having a longer draw length. Although the variation of skill, personal individual skill level, massively outweighs any physical advantage. The only times you really see it sort of show through is with the Korean men's team, where 3 stalwarts of the Korean men's team, in Im Dong-hyun, Kim Woo-jin, and Oh Jin-hyuk, of a country that the average height is like 5'9". We'll come back to this in just a second.
Ooh, very windy now. So set 2 underway.
Wind picking up, you see the banners lifting. Definitely a drift to the right. Drift to the right. It looked like that was going to happen. Sarah's not an archer who likes aiming off. She prefers to what she calls voodoo it, where you change the balance of the shot at the moment of execution. Nice.
9.
Yeah.
Good,
Well,
good
she
recovery.
voodooed that back into the 10.
And
That's-
all tied.
well, that's, yeah, handy. First set was tied.
Sarah will be looking for a yellow here. Looks good.
Is that
9?
9, 8.
It's hard to say with the shadow.
It's very hard to say with a shadow.
And an 8-9 liner.
Oh.
I think they're both in, but I just don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I was saying, the in the Korean national team, so Korea have a large number of professional archers, some of the best archers in the world, and their population of top level, potentially internationally competitive archers is wide enough that in a country where the average height is about 5'9", it is a rather significant fact that 3 of their national team that have been on the team for 15, 18 years are about 6'2" each.
Right.
They're not regular Korean men size.
No.
So size can be an advantage.
Yeah, so of a large pool.
It will help, but normally the skill differential.
So that 8 stayed an 8. Oh, no, it didn't. Yes, it did.
Yes.
Stayed an 8. So the score is 3-1 to Sobieraj.
Yep. Can come down to millimeters in this game. But with most countries, the skill differential between athletes is far greater than the physical attributes. Looks good. 8-9 liner again.
Yeah. Got movement there, isn't there?
Yeah. It's a good underlying structure. There's just a little bit of instability throughout it. Nice movement, nice pattern. Just not quite.
That's better.
Nice forward delivery from Miss Battles. But lovely possession, lovely bone alignment. Could this win be a tailwind currently? Still looking like a crosswind. Nice. 10. So, I think that will take the set for Sarah Battles. 3-all. Ooh. Is she going to do what I did and just walk off? Oh, that looks like a lot of wind up there.
Got 5 seconds left.
I don't know whether that was or wasn't, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure whose call that is. There's a judge at the target end. Yeah, it'll be Mr. Ride's call on whether that was inside the time. But arguably she's lost the set. It doesn't actually matter. Nice group though. Very tidy.
3 apiece.
The game continues. Recurve archery fights on from the very beginning to the very end. Combined with the 15-hour cumulative, you can have somebody get a decisive lead early on in the match, and then the rest of the match is just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Recurve archery, you can basically have won, and then boom, what happened there, and suddenly somebody's back in the game. So we've got spider veins on Margaret Sato's arrows, while Sarah's employing Ellie veins, much lower profile, similar degree of stiffness in the veins, both quite soft, flexible material. Spider veins being the Brady Ellison designed kit. Ellie veins an Italian design. Archery kit having a almost infinite range of combinations, personalizations available. Rare to see 2 athletes with anything actually exactly the same.
And very personal, isn't it?
Everything's individual. Everybody's bow's personalised, feels different. Despite trying to do the same thing. Nice shot from Sarah, 10 points.
Great way to start.
And that's the thing they're trying to do.
Great way to start this fourth set.
Nice. Not quite.
What went wrong there?
That could be she was aiming left to drift them in. As you see by those flags, it's gone calm. Sarah looks steady there. Nice.
Yeah, great group.
Sarah taking an advantage here.
Yeah, Sarah's going to win this one, but a major wobble.
You can see that back wrist really stretched out. It's my coach Richard Priest. Ooh, bit of a twitch. Talk about the rolled over, stretched out wrist, but a 28 will do.
Yeah, 28 wins it for Bettles.
And 9.
A good finish for Sobieraj. It's a 5-3 lead now to Bettles.
But if Sarah can maintain the form she found in this end, that will lead to a swift dispatch after the next set. She just needs to tie the next set to take the bronze medal. See that stretched out wrist. Giving you a nice. You want it long, you want it stretched out. A solid hook so your fingers are well connected to the string. 2.5 fingers with the bottom one stretched out. And then as long of a distance between your elbow and those fingers as possible. With that wrist sort of bent out. That thumbing technique I've talked about, that sort of forces the wrist into that position, which then allows it to biomechanically stretch out and relax. Gives you much less left to right variation in the shot. And then Sarah having soft joints obviously gives that a very exaggerated look.
Yeah, you used to call it double jointed, didn't you?
Oh, she's definitely double jointed. I think she might be triple jointed.
I don't think it's there's no such thing as double jointed, but it's just soft, looser ligaments.
Yeah. So last regulation set in this bronze medal match.
So Sobieraj needs to win this to force us to the shoot-off.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Reset.
5, 4, 3, 2. That's an easy introduction for Sarah. Definitely takes the pressure off, but she still needs to shoot these arrows.
Yeah.
Looks determined.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. It's not a big variation. And in the world of windy recurve archery.
Really capitalise. 8 better from Sobieraj.
Good delivery.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Almost
7.
well, almost on top of the other arrow.
So 14 apiece.
We're all tied.
Yeah. Oh, lovely shot.
Nice. So a yellow will take the match. Does Sarah aim high left? This really is edge of your seat stuff.
9 to tie this set and win the match.
And a 10.
And a 10.
2019 European Games team champion takes the bronze medal here.
Yeah, Sarah Bettles has taken bronze. 7-3.
She'll be pleased with that. No, she will have wanted more, but given how she started the matches today, taking that bronze is a good victory. Well done, Sarah. Good showing, Malgorzata. Nice to see you on this stage.
Yeah, indeed. Sarah Bettles had to fight back against Hinckley. And then was able to get through to the bronze medal. Knocked out by Penny Healy in the semi-finals, and then came back strongly in the bronze medal match there. So we have one more match to go, and that's going to be the gold medal match. And we've got Louisa Piper against Penny Healy,
who just 2 weeks ago took a gold medal at the European Youth Championships held at Lilleshall National Sports Centre, along with Megan Costel. Two young up-and-coming archers, 17, 19.
Who would you pick for this one? I know it's really difficult to call.
It is indeed. From the competitive vigor I've seen today, I would call Louisa, but I don't think Penny has been pushed today the way Louisa has. So if I was to go with Louisa, it would be 53-47. It really could go either way. Both of these girls are doing some very good archery. Both of them have shot some important pressure shots into the middle today. I think Louisa's maybe done a little bit more of that, but they both shot very well. They both shot some very good stuff this season. And, well, they're both here in the gold medal match, aren't they?
Yeah. And Penny Healy hasn't really been pushed that hard.
Yeah. So there's the potential that Louisa's fought through. Louisa's adrenaline and cortisol's already been depleted a little bit, whereas Penny's has just been tickled slightly. So there's the potential that she might find this gold medal match a little more stressful. Penny has, of course, won this. She's the defending champion, having won it last year. Louisa.
So Penny Healy introduced to the crowd, the 17-year-old, and Louisa Piper, 19 years old, the future of this sport in the UK.
This is Penny's second national tour finals, having won her first one last year. And Louisa's second as well. Both shooting for win and win. Both shooting with 25-inch ATFXs. Very similar setups, win and win rods as well. Very light mass on them. Although, as I said about with Jasprit earlier, they might have light mass weight, stabilization setups, but both of them have this 4-inch, 3-inch extender on, which pushes all the weight forward and gives you that stability. So Penny's going to open the match. Can she maintain her quick shot timing, which is her most aggressive tool? Pre-aim. And the movement. Yeah. Yep, good start. Wind. You'll take yellows in that wind. Penny will be looking to put Louisa under time pressure in this match. Take the fatigue from those longer holds, use it against her opponent. Nice grouping, Penny.
Great grouping from Healy.
Bit of bow arm movement. Looks like the wind though, rather than nerves. Looks good. Just out the other side. Should probably shaded her aim that way after that first arrow, potentially.
A 4-point lead.
Penny, 27.
Yeah.
Good confident opener to the match. Louisa will be wanting to find her aiming point, find her shot. Feel a little more comfortable moving into the next set. Louisa also using that thumb placement around the sternocleidomastoid muscle of the neck. Not quite the way she started their previous matches.
Yeah.
And with Penny only dropping one set to get to this point, Louisa needs to not really be giving her much room. Give a 17-year-old a head start and she might just take it.
Yeah. There haven't been many matches where we've seen the winner of the first set then end up losing.
Well, it does help, I suppose. Penny with her trademark purple hair, purple finger gloves, protecting her fingers. She very much shoots on the tips of her top 2 fingers. As I said, that 2.5 finger thing. She wears these finger gloves all the time. Vet wrap, best thing possible to protect your fingers. I've used. Is Louisa changing her side rods? Yes, Louisa is changing her side rods. Well, that's.
So what's that going to do?
I have no idea. I would have assumed her second bow would have had the same setup as her side rod. Even if it's coming loose, you just tighten it. She's hardly changing the stabilization sensation of her bow. I don't know. Sometimes distraction can be beneficial, though. Nice, confident-looking approach from Louisa.
Long hold.
Doesn't matter about holding long, so long as she does, the moment that clicker drops, both sides hit hard. You just got to execute hard. You can hold a long time so long as you execute powerfully at the end. That wasn't, yeah.
The door opened in the second set.
Watch, just as that clicker drops, you see both sides blast away from each other. Nice. 8. See, I'd call that, she pointed back at the middle because it looked calm, but actually the drift was still there. 8. Door open for Louisa, and 9 will take the set.
Yeah, we could be level pegging here.
Looks solid. 8. Okay, so a 10 will tie. Penny can do it, but she's dropped low with her last 2 arrows.
Yeah.
Penny's been working on her core strength for the past few months.
Oh, not quite.
So close.
Not quite.
But that will be all tied up.
Yeah, 25 apiece.
2 points each. This gold medal match. Riveting stuff.
Yeah.
See Mama Piper in the background, the left-hand side of your screen there. Nobody taking anything too decisive in this match. Penny's group in the first end, very solid, but just dropped a little bit off in the second set. Louisa much better in the second, but still not quite the form we know she's capable of. But this is as high pressure as it gets in Britain, really. A lot of money on the table for these girls. Winner of this is taking home a £3,000 check from, or $3,000 check from Win and Win. £500 from Archery GB.
So 2 apiece. Third set.
Looks good. Nice.
Yeah, you'd settle for a 9 right now, wouldn't you?
And given that low group, she'd probably adjusted her sight, so that's realistically an X. Watch his shot. Use it, slow and deliberate. Wind picking up mid-shot. 10!
Yeah, right on the buzzer as well.
Connor will be earning his keep doing those timing calls. Oh,
yeah, matched it.
High quality.
Has it got calmer, the wind?
It changes and chops and changes. Like, it could be windy the next hour. But yes, it does. It
does
does die down entirely at times. Oh, 7 low, not what Louisa needed there. And that will take the set for Penny. 28. Good competitive shooting there.
Piper.
Good shot.
Yeah, good shot to end, but couldn't win that.
Just that second arrow costing her.
Yeah.
So Penny takes a 4-2 lead. Advantage in this point. Very excitable little girl. Brought a lot of energy to the team.
Sometimes you need to release, don't you, between
Oh, definitely.
all that.
You can't stay. The levels of focus and mental intensity. Like, I'd love to be able to accurately record the calories you burn, almost just entirely from how switched on your brain is at this point. The amount of neural control you're trying to fire into your body, the amount of wind indicators you're reading, the pressure, just shooting in of itself. There's so much going on. I don't know if you noticed, but before my matches I was pacing backwards and forwards. I don't stop between matches. I won't sit down, I won't sit still, I won't stand still. And that's because I want to keep that energy, that intensity going.
Like Rafa Nadal playing tennis. We see him running up and down. Yeah, don't want to sit.
So Louise will shoot first. Wind coming from a headwind at the moment. Potential to push the arrows low. Sun come out again.
So Piper needs a good start to this end. That'll
Well,
do.
she'll take that.
Wasn't,
Steerage isn't a bad thing. Longer shot for Penny. Advantage Piper. See that thumb slotting in. Four, three. Ooh, that could cost her the match if Penny can capitalise on it.
If Penny can put this into the gold. She does.
1 point advantage. Louisa needs a 10 here. If this isn't a 10, I think this match is over. She's done it before. Looks good.
Ooh, it's only a 7. And a 7 needed to win.
And the Indoor World Cup champion, Penny Healy. Looks good.
And it is good, a 9.
Takes the gold medal.
Yeah, Penny Healy takes the gold and defends her title.
Yep.
Just as you did, Patrick.
Indeed.
You know that feeling.
She'll be very happy to do that. It's a very solid achievement, but given her season so far this year, and particularly, well, she set a world record last weekend, not really too surprising, but still a great achievement nonetheless.
And only dropped 2 sets today.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty dominant.
Yep. She shot well, shot consistently. What I find in this match is this event, at least this week with the wind, is that you don't need to be amazing. You don't need to be putting in 28, 29, 30s all of the time. Just if you can keep all of your sets consistent, you probably have a good chance of winning your match. If you just don't have any flyers that cost you a set.
Yeah.
If you can shoot consistently at a good level, that'll take it through. And that's what you get with particularly pressure situations like this. And chopping, changing wind conditions, consistency will out through wind.
Yeah.
1992, Simon Terry took individual and team bronze medal at the Barcelona Olympics, and one of the main reasons for that was that it was a windy field, and Simon was a great wind shooter, and whilst other people folded in the wind, he kept his form, he shot consistently, not necessarily amazingly, he just shot consistently and bested people.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to be able to go to an interview with the winner, Penny Healy.
I wonder if she likes carrots. Only some people will get that.
Yeah,
She was asked what she wanted for dessert by World Archery in an interview, and she said carrots.
Carrots. Okay. I thought it was an arching thing. I thought it was
It's not,
apples.
no.
I thought it was apples.
And I don't think that's been shared, so I've broken that for her.
Okay.
She's just won like $5,000. She can take it.
Yeah.
Interesting seeing the light shining through Walton Hall's windows there. Very beautiful, scenic environment.
Apparently it was used in a Batman film. Here we go. Interview with the winner.
I mean, it means a lot. Like, this is my second victory this year, not this year, but over the past 2 years, and it just adds to like the list of achievements that I've had this year, and it just feels amazing, like all this experience, and yeah, I'm so happy.
And you've had a phenomenal year this year. To round it off with a back-to-back win, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's been a great year as it is. I've shot a world record last week. I've come away with World Cup medals as well as individual placings, and yeah, it's been a great year, and I'm so happy.
You've got a good track record of shooting a European or a world record and winning national.
Yeah, I do, surprisingly. Like, I don't know, when I shot that world record, I was like, yeah, it's going to be a good week.
And then talk us through your matches quickly.
The wind was horrible. Like, I will be honest, it was not fun at all. But yeah, I kind of think I coped well with it, and I'm happy.
Yeah, so interesting to hear that from Penny. She said the wind was horrible.
Yeah, it was. It's chopping and changing, and it's pretty strong. And the wind indicator, sometimes, as I said, the wind indicators go totally flat, and it turns out there's still a fair bit of right to left drift, or left to right drift. And then it would change direction, it would pick up. To be fair, when I looked at the weather forecast this morning, it was saying 20-odd km/h winds. So it looks like some of it has turned up. Maybe we got away with it lightly this morning.
So time for the victory ceremony of the recurve women.
Two bow styles represented. Penny and Old win top.
Medals will be presented by Neil Armitage, Archery TV Chief Executive. Checks will be presented by Aaron Coughlin, Director of Participation. Bronze medal.
So bronze to Sarah Battles.
No-kill archers.
Would you be happy with that?
I think, given how she's struggled this year, I think she'll be happy with that performance. You know, she fought hard. She fought back hard. Might have had some wild arrows, but she made some important pressure shots. And realistically, in an archer's career, it's the shots you make are realistically the most important ones. And she got there. She got here. Well, she won the shoot off with an X. I think there's definite moments to be proud of there for sure. Overall, not a bad end to the season.
And part of that Team GB.
Yep, and we've got, as with Louisa demonstrating it here, we have a fantastic little core group of archers performing highly.
Yeah, the 19-year-old Louisa Piper.
European youth champion. Silver medal. Some more fantastic archery done by her today. Very good, consistent shooting. Doesn't realise her medal's on the wrong way round. We'll blame Neil though.
There's the check.
Oh, she's noticed.
There we go.
Gold medal representing archery TV, Penny Healy.
And Penny Healy takes the gold, as she did last year.
Woman of the hour, world record holder, cadet, under 18.
Yeah, still just 17 years old.
Yeah, the future's bright with Penny. Look forward to seeing what she's capable of. And where this group of girls go is we've got Jaspreet, Sarah, Louisa, Bryony, Penny. Some good stuff going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for our athletes.
So congratulations to our athletes. And Penny Healy in gold, Louisa Piper in silver, and Sarah Battles in bronze.
Overall a good day. And we've got the 50-meter tournaments tomorrow. Compound archery and barebow, featuring a current world #1 in Ella Gibson.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed today, then tune in tomorrow, because we've got action will start at 10:30 again tomorrow morning. Patrick, what are your plans?
Well, my father's over. He was the man in the box behind me today, so I think I'm probably going to go out and have a nice dinner with him.
Celebrate the win.
Indeed, so definitely needs done. It's an important victory, and yeah, see what goes on from there.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box, and well done again for defending your title.
Much appreciated, Graham. It's been good having you here. Look forward to seeing you on an archery range with Imogen soon.
Well, yes, and yeah, and thank you also to Imogen Sullivan Bell, my niece, who hopefully will be back from her injury and competing next year. So if you've enjoyed today, then tune in tomorrow, because we, as Patrick said, we've got the compound women and men, and then the bare bow finals tomorrow.
More riveting archery.
Yeah. But from Woollerton Hall, it's goodbye for now.
Yep.